Hey guys, it's Jackie here. Welcome to my channel. I know it's been a really long time since I uploaded a video, and that's because I knew I had to film this video, and for a really long time it was something that I felt really embarrassed of, and over time I realized it's really not something that I should feel embarrassed of, and it's something that I'm actually very proud that I have done, and something that I feel if you are struggling with something like this, that there are ways to get out and to turn your life around. So I guess I will just start from the beginning, that I broke off my engagement with my boyfriend of 6.5 years, and it was definitely not an easy decision for me at all. To be honest, for a year I was going back and forth because I really did love him, and it was a very, very difficult year for me because I felt like I wasn't being treated the way I wanted to be treated, but I just felt that I loved him so much and that I had already invested 6 years and that we had a wedding planned, that I didn't have a way out. And that was a scary feeling because I felt really trapped in this relationship that I wasn't truly happy in. So there were a lot of different reasons that I felt unhappy, and I'm not gonna get super into them all because I really do wish him the best, and I don't want to like air dirty laundry on the internet. That's not what this video is about. This is more a video for me to explain where I'm at in my life, and that if you are in this same situation that I found myself in, that things get better and that it's okay to leave a relationship, no matter if it's been 1 month, 1 year, 10 years, no matter how long you've been with someone. If you don't feel that you're being treated right, you always have a way out. Some of the reasons that I felt I wasn't being respected or treated the way that I wanted was just I felt like I was very controlled, and that everything I did had to be done a certain way, and that if I didn't do it that way I was going to be exiled or not spoken to for days, or you know, just talked down to. And so as someone who suffers with anxiety, that became a really big issue for me because anything that I did I felt anxious about. Oh, is he gonna be mad at me for this? Is he not gonna speak to me because of this? And so it just got to a point where it was every day I would wake up anxious and I would go to sleep anxious, and while he was at work I was anxious, when he came home from work I was anxious. It was just so much anxiety that this relationship had become toxic to me, and I tried my very best to fix it, and I just was not in a good stable place to do that because of my anxiety. And it wasn't all from the relationship. There were other factors like COVID. My dad was diagnosed with cancer. I had lost my job due to COVID, so it was just a lot going on. And I feel like, being that I was going through so much, your fiance or your boyfriend is someone who's supposed to be there for you to give you more support, not add more anxiety or stress. So I just felt like everything that I was putting into the relationship was not being met, and after a while you just can't keep trying to fix something that is broken, no matter how bad you want to. No matter how badly I wanted that big white wedding, and I wanted the happily ever after, that I fell in love in college and we got married and happily ever after we had kids and everything was perfect. That's what everybody wants, and it was very hard to let go of that dream. But once I did, I was able to see the bigger picture, that I was not happy. And even after we broke up, I took the first month. So we broke up in September, and I took that first month to really work on me and my anxiety, and I did try to get back together and fix things. And at that point he had told me that he had a new girlfriend, and to be honest, that really ripped my heart out, and I was really not in a good place for a long time because of that, because I just felt so replaceable, and like I didn't matter. You know, you spend 6.5 years with someone, and for them to have a new girlfriend that they're gonna put ahead of you, that just showed me, that spoke volumes to me about his character, and just assured me that I did the right thing for me. And I'm at a point now where I don't regret what happened. I'm very happy with my decision, to be honest. And I'm happy with me and where I'm at. And that's what's really important, I think, is that if you have self-love, everything else will just fall into place. And so I've taken a lot of time to work on me. And if you want to take a look at my crafting YouTube channel, I've been uploading a lot on there because crafting is something that really helps with my anxiety and just made me feel calm. And so I'll link that below if you want to check that out, because I do love crafting. I love making YouTube videos, and that's why I really decided to sit down and make this video today, because I just want to really get back to vlogging my life and making awesome content for you guys. And another thing that I really want to touch upon is mental health. That my mental health has been hanging by a thread for a really long time. And I found out, I want to say in like January maybe, that I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and borderline personality disorder. And so that definitely attributed to some of the issues in my relationship. And you know, I was hopeful when I got that prognosis that maybe we could fix things and, you know, maybe it wasn't my fault. And I realized over time that that completely had nothing to do with my relationship. Yeah, it might have caused me to act a bit differently than, like, a little irrational, but it did not change the fact that I felt mistreated. But being that I was suffering with all of these mental health issues, I finally have gotten the therapy that I need. I'm on medication, and honestly, I've never felt this good. So I'm really, really happy about that. And like, if you feel like you're struggling, go see a therapist. I highly suggest it to everyone. I am a firm believer in normalizing therapy for everybody, because it's just an hour a week where you could go and talk about you and your feelings and just get things off your chest that you didn't even realize that you need to just say out loud. So I definitely believe going to therapy has helped me so much. And I don't know, just like so many things that have made me feel a lot better. Another thing that I wanted to touch upon, I'm sorry, I'm a little all over the place in this video because I did not plan this out, because I didn't want it to be scripted. I wanted it to be genuine. I want to be transparent with you guys, because I wish that I had someone to tell me these things before I got out of my relationship, just because I was scared about these things. He lived with me in my home with my parents, and so it was really hard for me to be like, I need you to move out. So that was another reason that things went on so long, because how do you tell someone get out of my house when it's their house too? And it's something that I felt really, really guilty about for a long time, but it's also not something that's uncommon. When couples get divorced, usually the wife kicks the husband out, or vice versa. But I definitely am really grateful that I got out when I did. I really, really think that calling off an engagement is definitely a lot easier than getting a divorce. But hey, if you are married and you're struggling and you feel mistreated, get a divorce. It's not really an option. Like, you need to put yourself first. And that's what I've really learned through all this. And like I said, there was a period of time where I was calling him, crying, wanting to get back together, wanting him to break up with his new girlfriend. And you know what? More power to them. Let them be happy, because I don't need that negative energy anymore. And that's something that I was able to realize through therapy and just through, like, finding myself and falling in love with me. And honestly, that's like the greatest realization you can ever have. So I definitely think that there was a ton of toxic energy in that relationship, and even toxic relationship in my house from the relationship. There was just toxic energy everywhere, to the point where for a really long time I couldn't even sleep in my bedroom because it was so toxic. And I can't tell you how many times I saged, I used Palo Santo, I cleaned, I bought new furniture, It was so negative. And I'm finally at a point where I'm like, all right, the negativity is gone. Chris is gone, and I'm not ever going back because I know what I deserve. I know what I want, and I love me. And if someone else wants to love me, that's great. But I don't know, it's kind of, it's really messed up that society tells women, you have to get married, you have to have kids. This is what is normal. And so for a really long time, growing up, I thought, I have to find Prince Charming, I have to get married, and I have to have kids, and I want to do this by the time I'm 30. And I had myself on such a strict timeline that even though I felt mistreated in my relationship, I was so tunnel visioned that all I wanted was to get married and have kids because I thought that that was what I was supposed to do. And I'm not the only person. I know a lot of young women feel that way. And that's another thing that's like a stereotype that needs to be broken, because women, they have so much more to offer than just reproducing. And of course, like, I still do want that. I want to get married, I want to have kids, but I'm not going to do it with someone just because I've been with them for 6 years. I want to do it with someone who respects me, who treats me well, who I genuinely enjoy spending time with and being with. And if I don't find that for another 5 years, that's fine. If I find it tomorrow, that's great. But that is not the bane of my existence anymore. I think that, you know, for a really long time, theater was something that was so important to me. And being on Broadway was a big dream of mine. And I feel like I put these things on hold for a relationship that I wasn't seeing a return from, to speak in business terms. Like, I wasn't getting anything back, but I was putting everything in my life on hold for this relationship because I felt that I had to get married by a certain age and I had to have kids at a certain age. And looking back, I feel stupid for not getting out sooner, but everything happens for a reason. Everyone's on their own timeline, and this was what my path had in store for me. Like, this is my fate, and I'm a huge believer that everything happens the way it's meant to happen. Everything happens for a reason, and I truly think that getting out of that relationship was the biggest blessing in disguise that I ever could have had. So I definitely think if you're in a relationship and you are doubting it, get out. If you feel like any kind of doubt, or that you're not being treated right, or that you're unhappy, you're feeling anxious about your relationship, then that's not your person. And it hurts, it's hard, because I know you probably invested time and feelings, but you don't want to keep investing into something that is going to just hurt you, either now or down the road. So honestly, if any of you guys are struggling, or you feel that you are trapped in a relationship that is toxic, reach out to me. I'm always checking my DMs on Instagram. You can message me there, you could send me an email, comment on this video. I'm here to help you and to give you guys advice, because I would hate to see someone else trapped in the situation that I was in. And if you've ever if you've ever heard the song Lose You to Love Me by Selena Gomez, it spoke volumes to me. It's actually really funny. One of the last times I saw my ex, we were already broken up at this point, and he walked me to my car, and I started my car with my key, and he gave me a hug, and that song started to play, and I was just like, what? It was just the craziest moment, because that's what I needed at that moment. And that's just something that everyone needs to know. Sometimes you need to lose someone to love yourself, because that person's holding you back from being the best version of you that you could be. And yeah, I just would say, do not ever, ever measure your self-worth based on what someone else thinks or what someone else is telling you. If someone's telling you that you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not smart enough, screw them, because you are. You are amazing. Every person is amazing, and that's why I'm also a big advocate of kindness. You never know what other people are going through. There were days when I went to the supermarket and I was on the verge of tears, and you know, nobody else knew what I was going through. and there's just all these people around you living their life, and they have no idea of the pain that you're going through, and you have no idea of the pain they're going through. So something as small as paying for someone behind you on the Starbucks line, or I went to Target one day and I was buying a sweater and it was $30, and the cashier goes, oh, this is on clearance, I don't know the price, but I'm just gonna put it in for $5. And like, just little things like that would make my day. Someone texting you in the morning, hey, I'm thinking about you, you're amazing. It doesn't have to be a boy, it could be your best friend, your sister, your cousin. It does not need to be a man. You don't need a man to define you. And honestly, if you're watching this video and you need to hear this, you are amazing, you're beautiful, and you don't need a man. You need you, and you are good enough. And that is something I tell myself every day. I am enough. And that's my mantra. I am enough, you are enough, we are all enough. So thank you guys for watching my little rant and for coming along my journey with me. I hope to be making a lot of new videos and new content soon. And yeah, that's why I haven't been so active the past 6 months. And I apologize, but I'm back and I am ready to do this. So I will see you guys next time. Bye guys!